And then I'm gonna do this, and I'm going to share my screen. Share. No, I want to just share. Thank you. I would like to share this screen so that you can see my lovely presentation. There we are. Perfect. Right. So, welcome. We are officially starting today's masterclass, Conditioned to Believe How Your Past Has Created Your Beliefs and How to Rewrite Them. Please let me know in the chat where you're watching from, because I'm really, really curious who I'm with today and where you are from, so that we can get to know each other. And I will be asking things during the training. If you would like to use the chat to actually comment and to let me know your answers or let me know your insights or ideas, I would absolutely love that. And then after the masterclass, I will stop sharing my screen. If you feel comfortable enough, if you would like, please stay on after I stop the recording so that we can have a bit of a chatter, or if you have any questions, we can talk about them. Feel free to leave any time. I would love to have you all the way through, obviously. But yeah, if you have to go elsewhere, that's absolutely fine. There's a replay available afterwards. So thank you for coming. And that's saying I'm from Rochester, New York, Peggy, USA. I know that Peggy is in Wisconsin, if I'm correct. Peggy is in my Peaceful Chaos Method program, coaching program. Thank you for joining, Peggy. And Brenda says here she's from Lindsberg, VA. I'm not too familiar with the VA. VA is, I'm not sure. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Lovely. Well, I'm Malou Hilhurst, Virginia. Thank you. I'm Malou Hilhurst. I am a Dutch national and I live in the UK. Moved there 8.5 years ago and still here. So that's where we are from. Bit of a time difference with you all, but it's okay. Right, okay. So really, I cannot stress enough that I'm truly, truly honored that you are here today. Whether you are joining me live or watching the replay, you have made an incredible decision just by showing up for yourself. So before we dive in, take a deep breath, pause for a moment, and acknowledge yourself for making this time for you. Okay, this is your space to learn, to reflect, and to start shifting the beliefs that have been, maybe subconsciously or unconsciously, been keeping you stuck. This is not just a masterclass where I talk and you listen. This is an interactive workshop experience. So we will do the work alongside together, because that's how real transformation happens. So here's what you can expect from today. We will explore where your limiting beliefs come from and how they have shaped your self-perception. You'll gain clarity on how you felt stuck in we will gain clarity on how and why you have felt stuck in old patterns. And most importantly, I will guide you through a 4-step process to start rewriting these beliefs today. Okay? How I'd love for you to engage is take notes when you can, write down your insights, drop your thoughts and reflections in the comments as we go along. You know, the more you participate, the more you will get out of this. I'm going to start my slides presentation. Thank you very much. Right, before we begin, let me quickly introduce myself for those who are new here or have not seen a live training from me before. My name is Malou Hilhurst, and I am an accredited empowerment life coach for women who feel trapped in self-doubt, people-pleasing, limiting beliefs, you name it, past conditioning, chaotic turmoil, thoughts, anything. Now, I help women over 40 break free from the past conditioning so that they can embrace their worth and find their voice and create the life that they truly want, but never thought that they were able to create, on their own terms, okay? And why I chose women over 40 is because this is the stage in life where the patterns that have been running in the background for decades finally start to catch up. I don't know if you can recognize yourself in this. Let me know in the chat if this is true. Because for many women in the late 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond, life shifts dramatically at this stage, okay? You may find yourself feeling exhausted from constantly putting others first, whether it's family, relationships, work, name it, we feel exhausted, okay? We are actually questioning our purpose with thoughts like, is this all there is? Thank you, Annette. I think it's true as well. You know, questioning, is this all there is to life? Who am I? And it's horrible when you start questioning that, isn't it? Now, maybe you're facing an empty nest or a career burnout or a midlife wake-up call that has made you realize that you've spent years prioritizing everyone else except yourself. Now, this is the time where many women begin to see how deeply they've been conditioned to believe they must be the caretakers, the peacemakers, the fixers. I'm quite a fixer. I can still have that in me. The ones who hold it all together, even at a cost of their own happiness, right? But here's the truth. You are not stuck. You are not stuck. You are not too old to change. I want that to be very clear, okay? And you are not broken. You are not broken. You have simply been conditioned to believe you must live in a certain way because that's the way it should be. Okay? And in this masterclass today, we are going to start breaking that conditioning so that you can reclaim your life on your terms. All right? Now, I am the founder of the Peaceful Chaos Method. Like I said earlier, it's a group coaching program. Peggy, who's here today, is in that program. If you have any questions for Peggy, please ask them in the chat. I think Peggy will be happy to answer any. And that's what it is. That was my slide. So let's go to the next one. I do this, I help. What do I do? Peggy says hello. And the services that I offer. Now, again, this masterclass is not to sell anything, okay? This is not, I'm not telling you these things because I need the income, and absolutely not, okay? I'm telling you this because I need you to be aware that I'm here to help. When you're ready, I'm here, okay? If you want anything, if you want anything of a service that I could be that person that could offer you that. So I do this. I offer the services through my structured coaching programs and mentorships, which include, as you can see here on the left of the screen, a free Take Back Control mentorship call. I said this in the beginning. Please book yourself a free call. It's not a sales call. It's basically a personalized one-to-one call to help you get unstuck. That's it. Okay. I'm there to help. I want to give back. So that's why the call is there. Think about it. Please do really consider to book one because I'd love to meet you. Right. The Peaceful Chaos Method group coaching program, you can see in the second down here. It's a step-by-step program to break free from chaos, self-doubt, and unworthiness. Now, later, I will put all the links in the chat. And there will be an email with the replay, and the link will be in there as well. And I offer one-to-one coaching packages. You can see in the right of this slide. They are basically deep personalized coaching for those ready for a complete transformation, but don't feel secure enough to do it on their own in a group coaching program, or just want the one-to-one support instead. Okay. I will actually, why not now? I will actually put the other links in the chat as well. Again, have a look when you want. Oh, come on. It's not doing what I want it to do, obviously. Right, there we are. Links are in the chat. Right, okay. So if you're interested, feel free to have a look. However, I want to stress that this masterclass, again, it is not focused on selling you any of my services. I just want you to be aware that these options are simply available if and when you are ready to finally do you. And I'd be genuinely honored to help you on your journey to amazingness. And I honestly, genuinely mean that. Okay, now let's get started. Today, we are diving deep into how your past has shaped your beliefs and how you can begin rewriting them. Grab your notebook, open your mind, and let's begin. Now, the truth about I said outdated beliefs on this slide, okay, the truth about them. Now that we've set the stage, let's talk about why you feel stuck, okay? Because there's something really, really powerful to remember in this part of it. Your beliefs about yourself are not facts, okay? I'll let this sink in for a second, because whatever we believe about ourselves, they are not factual. It's what we think and what we find, okay? They feel true because you've been carrying them for so long, but they were actually created, shaped by the messages you've received, the experiences you've had, and the way that you interpreted them. I said that wrong, and I know. I've got some hiccups sometimes with my English. I apologize. Now, if you could think of your mind like software, you can see this lovely old computer in this slide. The core beliefs that you operate from today were programmed into you years, but sometimes even decades ago. Okay? And just like outdated software, these beliefs are still running, even if they do not longer serve you. But here's the good news. You can rewrite the script. And that sounds amazing if you ask me. Now let's break this down. Where do your beliefs come from? Your core beliefs were formed through three key sources. Okay, let me know in the chat if you recognize yourself in this. It could be from messages from childhood. Okay, maybe your parents or caregivers said to you, be a good girl, or don't be too much, or you are too much, or stop being so sensitive, don't cry, anything. Okay, they might come from the way that you were treated in your childhood. So were your emotions validated, or were they dismissed? Or they could be from childhood and the societal expectations that were placed on you. So girls should be quiet, or girls should be helpful, or girls should not ask for too much. Okay. And the second one is that these core beliefs were formed through past experiences and emotional imprints. If you were rejected, criticized, abandoned at any point, your brain has stored that moment as evidence of what is safe or unsafe. Or maybe you were overlooked for promotions, or ignored in relationships, or, told that you weren't good enough. And those experiences reinforced negative beliefs. Okay, they made them the truth for you. Let me know in the chat if you can recognize yourself in this. And again, if that's the case, I am really sorry that you're going through that, or that you've been through that, okay? Now, the third one is it might come from repeated conditioning over time. So the longer a belief is repeated, and that could be by you or by others, so it could also be by yourself. The longer a belief is repeated, the stronger it becomes. Okay, so if you tell yourself for years, I'm not smart enough, or I'm not good enough, or I'm crap at it, you know, I can't do it, your brain will accept it as truth, even if it's not. Does this resonate? Can you start to see where some of your beliefs may have come from in the past? Now, absolutely recognize that, Annette says. Right, okay, so thank you for definitely Brenda says, so thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. Right, so most of us are walking around with a playlist of limiting beliefs in our head, and they go on repeat. They go on repeat. So let me know if any of these sound familiar, or if you have any others that you struggle with and that you have like the broken record in your head going on that you believe about yourself. I'm not good enough. I have to work harder to prove my worth. If I say no, people won't love me. I should just be grateful and not ask for more. I always mess things up. I can't trust myself to make the right decision. I always get it wrong. Think of one and put it in the chat for me if you want to share. Now, these thoughts feel so real, but they are not objective truths, okay? They are stories created by past conditioning. I'm seeing Annette has said, I have to work harder to prove my worth resonated and trust myself to make the right decision. Exactly. And that's what we made ourselves believe, okay? But they are stories that were created by past conditioning. And the longer we hold on to them, the more they shape our actions and emotions and self-worth. Because, Annette, when you say, I have to work harder to prove my worth, that will then translate into actions. You know, you do more. You do more to prove it. And it will translate into emotions because you will feel absolutely crap. You will feel absolutely not good enough if you do not do more. And then you feel absolutely useless, which is your self-worth gets then knocked down if you do not do what you believe you have to do. Does that make sense? Right, so let's have a look at the next and do a little bit of a pause. Perfect sense. Right. Grab your notebook if you've got one, or a piece of paper. Take a deep breath, because I want you to reflect on your own beliefs. Just making this kind of the workshop experience at this moment in time. I need you to write down one belief about yourself that keeps you feeling stuck. Okay? One belief about yourself. So what do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about yourself? If you feel secure enough, if you feel comfortable enough, please share in the chat what it is. Write down one belief about yourself that keeps you feeling stuck. And then I need you to ask yourself, where does this belief come from? Was it something that you were told? Or was it a conclusion you made based on past experiences? Did something happen? Write down one belief about yourself that keeps you feeling stuck. Where did it come from? Were you told this belief over and over and over again? Did something happen that made you believe that? Now, I need you to take a moment to sit with this. Don't need to you don't need to force an answer. Just notice what comes up and drop your thoughts in the chat if you feel comfortable sharing. What a bit of a drink. Anyone wants to share in the chat? Right, I can't see who's actually. Oh, there we go. Sometimes I believe a life change as divorce can trigger some of these patterns. Yes, yes. And I'm really sorry that you're going through that, Annette. I've been there, unfortunately, but fortunately, because I'm happy now. Yes, the a very significant life change or a life experience can definitely trigger these patterns and make you go back into the old normal, if that makes any sense. You know, the coping mechanisms. Peggy can talk about them. The coping mechanism of overthinking and thinking that you're doing it wrong all the time and, you know, creating that. I call that creating the chaos. Because your head basically starts running and creates the chaos, if that makes any sense. Right, okay. So the power, as I mentioned, also empty nester career changes. Exactly. It could be really small. You know, it could be really insignificant for other people, but for us, it's made a very big, massive impact and imprint in what we believe about ourselves or how we feel about things, and it could make such an impact on our confidence. You know, it's just horrible when that happens, and I'm really sorry that you're dealing with that. Right, okay, so if we look at the power to rewrite your story, what I want you to take away from this is that your beliefs are not set in stone. You are not broken. Definitely not. You are not broken. You are simply running old programming. Okay, it's just outdated. It's just outdated thoughts. And just like the outdated software that I just highlighted, you can update it. And that's exactly what we're going to do next, step by step. So are you ready to rewrite the script? Now that we've uncovered where our limiting beliefs come from, it's time to shift from awareness to action. Okay, in the peaceful chaos method, I highly believe in a framework that I've used throughout. I've just had Brandy. Has she just joined? Not yet. But Peggy and Brandy both are in the program. So the program runs on a framework, which is basically, hi Brandy, is basically awareness, creating awareness. That's the first step. Because I think if you cannot see what's going on, you cannot change it. Okay. So the next thing is that you understand what's going on and accept. Okay. So the third thing is that you start discovering different ways of dealing with these things. And then you will be ready, only then, for executing and trying and making things your own. And then the next step will be the freedom phase, where you will find that the more you execute, the more you change things after really, really becoming aware and understand and accept what's going on, you actually can then move towards the freedom. Now, that's why my trainings are based on the awareness, because I think it's really, really important that we become aware of what we do. Okay. So now that we've uncovered the limiting beliefs and where they come from, it's time to shift from awareness to taking action. Okay. And this is where the change begins, basically. So I'm going to walk you through a simple 4-step process to start rewriting those beliefs that have been holding you back. Okay. Step by step, you will learn how to, first step, identify the belief keeping you stuck. Second is to understand where it came from and why it's absolutely not the truth. The third one is to rewrite it into something empowering And the fourth one is to reinforce the new belief so it becomes your new reality. Okay? So shall we dive in to the first one, which is basically creating awareness, and we're identifying the limiting belief. Now, we've just done that. The first step is awareness, because you cannot change what you don't see or acknowledge. Okay, you cannot change what you don't see. So think of a belief that often plays on repeat in your mind. We've done that, we've just done that, right? Okay, if there's anything else that pops up, please keep writing, please keep sharing in the chat. Think of a belief that often plays on repeat in your mind. Maybe it's, I have to be perfect to be loved. I always mess things up. I should just be grateful and not ask for more. I'm not good enough. I always get it wrong. People are not interested in me. I'm not worthy. These are beliefs that we have, unfortunately. Okay, so I need you to take a moment to write down one limiting belief. If you want to use a different one than you've just written down, that keeps coming up for you. Okay, then I need you to think about, or to have a think. What does this belief tell about yourself? So if anyone wants to share a belief about themselves in the chat, I can help you basically work through it. What does this belief tell you about yourself? And how does it affect your decisions, emotions, and actions? So if I take the one that Annette just shared, so let me just go up a bit. Work harder to prove my worth. Okay. What does this belief tell you about yourself? Have you got any idea, Annette? If you believe that you have to work harder to prove your worth, what does that tell about you? You always have to be on. You know? The belief is about self-worth too. Yes, definitely. Well, it tells you about, you have to be on. You have to always be in the ready to make sure that you are the peacemaker, the fixer, the holding it all together. Yeah. Because then you get the validation from others that will tell you that you are good enough. The self-worth comes in. That makes sense? Now, it tells me about you that you are needing other people to confirm that you are worthy. Does that make sense when I'm saying that? Is that true? Because that's a lot of the times the culprit behind it. You know, we constantly ask for the validation that we are good enough. We constantly do things, people pleasing, yes, we do things to get the validation from others that we are doing a good job. Okay, now, how does this belief affect your decisions, emotions, and actions? Your decisions. I can almost guess, or I can guess that you put everyone else first, and then there's you. Forgotten, put somewhere in the back, unimportant. There is no time left for you after you've helped everyone else. Because you decide that you have to be on, that you have to be ready to help. Does that make sense? Yes, exactly. This is exactly. And it says there's also, over time leaves me depleted, angry, and resentful. Yes, because there is no time for you. There is no place for you. Okay? Because everyone else is more important than you. And the thing is as well, if we look into, these are the emotions that will basically get like a set off. I think that might be the best description. But if we look at the actions, not just from ourselves, we are always people pleasing, we're always caretaking, we're always on the ready to step in and do it, okay? Because that's how we believe that we should be. But the longer and the more we do that, the more complacent people around us get, because they are then realizing or kind of expecting and thinking, oh, Annette will do it. Does this sound familiar? So by that time that you've done it so many times, and this is basically you, the person that comes forward all the time, the caretaker, the fixer, the people pleaser, you will do it all. Yeah. Other people are going to start finding that quite comfortable, because then they don't have to step up, because Annette will do it. Does that make sense? Does it help when I kind of dismantle these with you? Yes, it does help. Okay. Are you becoming aware of what the whole situation around the belief could be influencing? Because that's it, in the end, that's what I hope to accomplish with today, is that we are becoming more aware and that we can basically call ourselves out when it happens. I like the fact that other people get complacent as well. And so we stunt others' growth too. Yes, this is exactly what happened with my ex-husband. Okay, this is exactly what happened. Malou did it all. My ex. Why would he? Why would he? I got angry, I got resentful, I got all the feelings that you've just described. Well, then it was like after a while when I started to try and change that, he didn't even know how to do it anymore. Not that he's ever been able to do it, but let's put that aside. Does that make sense? We are blocking other people's growth by constantly being on. And I think if I would ask Brandy to say something about this, we have talked about this, Brandy, in group coaching calls, haven't we? The more we stepped up, the less we gave other people the chance to actually take responsibility. Correct? We made them feel small, even though that was absolutely not our intention, but we made them feel small, and that did something to their self-worth as well, and to their confidence, because we made them believe that they were incapable. So it's this interactive kind of, we set things off by doing, and we are very. Brandy's saying working on fixing that. I know you are, and you're doing amazing. But this is something that we do not realize, because we feel unheard. We feel like we don't matter. We feel like we're doing it wrong all the time, and we're doing more to make up for it. But at the same time, we're not giving other people the chance to actually step up and learn, because we'll do it before they even think about the option. Okay? Thanks, Annette. I saw you coming. Right, okay. So step number 2 is understanding. So where did this come from? So now that we've identified the belief, we need to trace it back to its roots. And this is where I get intrigued. As you can see, I get a bit fired up. This belief it did not start with you. It was given to you. So where did this belief come from? Was it something that you were told by a parent or a teacher or an authority figure in your childhood? Was it shaped by painful experience when, you felt rejected or unworthy? Or was it reinforced by societal expectations about what women should be doing, thinking, or whatever it is that society tries to put on us? Now, if you look at your own belief that you wrote down earlier, where do you think that this belief originated from? If you feel comfortable enough to share in the chat, please do. Because like I said, I get intrigued by these things. I'm really, I get really fired up. Where do you think that your belief originated from? And then can you see that this belief was actually given to you rather than something inherently true? And that says societal expectations and definitely childhood sibling order. Exactly. And in all fairness, Annette, this is something Brenda says childhood and past experiences, yes, they shape us. And to go back to the sibling order, I've got two children. I'm a mum of two boys. They're totally different kids, but yes, I catch myself doing exactly the same as my parents did. It's something it's just what we do, right? Now, can you see that this belief was given to you rather than something inherently true? Does it make sense? Drop an aha in the chat if you're starting to see the connection or the disconnections, the way you want to see it. Right. So, rewriting number three, step number three. We're rewriting, we're creating a new truth. And I know this sounds blah blah, and I get it. I get it. But now that we know where this belief came from, we get to rewrite the story. Okay? Because I need you to remember that just because you believed something for so long, time does not make it true. Okay? If your old beliefs are not facts, what are more supportive, true beliefs that you can start practicing? So what can you replace them with? So if your old belief is not a fact, what is a more supportive, true belief you can start practicing? I'll give you some rewriting examples. If you had the belief, I have to be perfect to be loved, or yours, Annette, I have to, let me just get them. I have to work harder to prove my worth. What can you replace that one with? I would say even the world is not gonna go under. The world is not gonna go and end if I stop and take a moment for myself. The world is not going to end. Or yeah, I like that too. Yes, fuck it. I'm sorry. I apologize up front. I am a flap out. And I do say what I think. That's the Dutchness in me, I'm afraid. But yeah, fuck it. The world's not gonna end. You deserve. You deserve so much more than you're giving yourself now. Okay, so have a look at these beliefs. I have to be perfect to be loved. If that was one of your beliefs, you can rewrite it with I am worthy even when I make mistakes, because what are mistakes for? Mistakes are there to learn from. And it's okay to make a mistake. And this is the highly thing that I teach and preach in the Peaceful Chaos Method coaching program. It's okay. And I think Peggy and Brandy both roll their eyes now because it's okay. It is so true. It's so true that it's okay. Okay is good enough. Okay. Now, old belief. Maybe you think that my needs don't matter. You could replace that with my needs are important and I deserve space, like I just said. Or I can't trust myself. And then this is one for you. Hard to make decisions. The new belief that could replace the old one is that you have the wisdom and the experiences to make good decisions for yourself. You have the wisdom. Okay? So write down a new belief that you are going to practice from today onwards. Say it out loud. And even feel the shift in energy when you claim this new truth. And this is this is why I love what I do, because it sounds blah blah. Yes, you can just replace an old thought with a new one. And yes, if I say it to myself more and often enough, yes, I might start believing it, but it is true. If you, instead of being negative to yourself and say, I'm not loved, there's nothing to love, okay? If you start replacing that belief with, you deserve, and if no one else loves me, I can at least love myself. Totally different way of looking at it, okay? It's these little tweaks in how you think and how you basically kind of slap these things in the butt, stop them when they happen. And that's what the next step is about. It will happen. If you replace the old beliefs with new, empowering ones, you will get a lot of more joy out of it. And take everything with a pinch of salt. Seriously, do not take yourself too seriously. Seriously. Because life's too short. You are worth more than what you're giving yourself or letting yourself be. You are definitely worth more. Okay? Now, if you feel comfortable enough or if you need any help with rewriting your belief, please drop it in the chat. If you've got a new belief that you would like to start practicing, drop it in the chat. I would like to hear it or read it. Say it out loud. I don't care. Just do it. Be you. Because you know what? And I talked about this with Peggy last night in the group coaching call. I asked Peggy, what's the one thing that comes to mind when you think about the whole process that we've been through, the time that you've had in a peaceful chaos method, what you got from it? And Peggy said, unconditional acceptance. And I thought that was amazing. Because you know what? Life's too short. Life is too hard. There's too much drama. There's too much going on in the world that is just negative. Why make it worse? Accept unconditionally and appreciate and allow yourself to make mistakes. Learn from them. Okay? Right, okay. So if we go to step number 4, I would like to practice the new belief. Peggy says, I was accepted in my chaos and loved. You were definitely. Because I like chaos. And I like making a little bit more, what do you call it? Like more structure in it? More peace in it. I think that's the peaceful chaos method. There we go. Cliche. It's a challenge. I see it as a challenge. That helped. Okay. Step number 4, reinforcement, practicing the new belief. It's one thing to write it down. It's another to live it until it becomes your new normal. Like I said, if you keep doing that, it will. I promise you that. So here's how to start reinforcing a new belief. Set daily reminders. Write a new belief somewhere visible where you can see it. On a mirror, sticky note, on your phone, on your computer, anything. Okay? Catch it and correct it. So when you notice that an old belief pops up, I need you to slap it away, pause, and replace it with your new truth. You are worthy. I think you're worthy. Think of me. I don't know if that's a good thing to do that. Okay? And the third one is act as if. Every time you make a choice, ask yourself, what would I do if I truly believed this new truth? So, how would I act and react from this new belief? Okay, take a next example. You are worthy. You are worthy. You do not need the validation. How would you act from that thought? Knowing that you are worthy, would you still ask for the validation? Or would you be okay to just do what you need to do for you and think that okay is good enough? I know it's a bit of a twist, but I like the challenge, like I said. And I think it's nice to challenge yourself sometimes. And I need you to understand that rewiring your brain, which is what we're basically doing here, it takes time. Okay, it doesn't go overnight. I know, Annette. Annette says, I believe I have shared that with you. It is difficult to step into the new norm because it will not feel comfortable. No, it doesn't. It is really, really hard. I get that. And it feels really uncomfortable, very uneasy, and scary. You laugh it. But this is where my framework comes in because I make you become aware first. I make you accept, I make you understand why it's happening, and I make you accept that it's happening and it's okay. Okay, from that place that you are aware, you understand, and you accept, then comes the time that you actually start to discover how you could act differently, what you could do, what feels right for you. But because you've got the knowledge beforehand, it will be a totally different mindset from where you are going to act from. Does that make sense? Now, every time, like rewiring your brain takes time. And every time you choose a new belief, you will strengthen it. It might not feel like it in the beginning, and it might not feel like it. And I am totally aware of that. However, every time you choose or remind yourself about the new belief, it will strengthen. Okay. Now, what is one small action, and please drop them in the chat. What is one small action that you can take this week to practice your new belief? Let's make it real. I had a talk today at work with a colleague. He's invested so much money in a new business, can't get himself to do it. I asked him, what's stopping you? You've got everything in place. You've even called customers. Why are you not going? I don't know. Well, what's the action that you can take this week when you're starting? Friday, maybe. Sorry, Friday. What time? Make it real. And that's where my straight Dutchness, the straightforward Dutchness comes in. Grab it by the butt and just do it. Even if it's a tiny little step, it's still a tiny little step. It's more than what you did yesterday. Right, ladies? I mean, why make it so difficult for ourselves? Appreciate the little steps that you're taking for your own good. Because they are good enough. Peggy's still taking herself down in conversations, even though she's made such big wins. Take the win. Right, Becky? Take the win. You've done it. Take it. Own it. So what is one action, one small action that you could do this week to practice your new belief? Anyone want to share? Four-step process recap. Let's quickly recap what we've covered today. Step one is awareness. You need to identify the belief that's limiting you. Step number two is understanding. So I need you to trace back to where it came from and why you have that belief. It will make a huge difference when you start understanding, because then the acceptance can come in. Okay? Step number three is rewriting. Create a new belief that empowers you. Step number four is reinforcement. Practice your new belief until it becomes your truth. And yes, it's uncomfortable, but every little step counts. Because your beliefs are the foundation of your reality. If you change your beliefs, you change your life. Because every action, decision, everything will be following up from that. Okay? Now, I'm curious, how do you feel after going through this process with me? Drop a word in the chat. I'd love to hear where you're at. Feel good about at least identifying some of these beliefs. And that's to start. And then this is, again, we can put this whole expectation on ourselves that we do it today or tomorrow or yesterday, even like we do. Okay, we want it done now. We want it done and changed and then be good. But we need to accept the fact that it doesn't change overnight, and that you know, that you have identified some of the limiting beliefs. That is amazing. That's a really good start. Peggy says, I'm supported and not alone. No, absolutely not. I'm in your corner. And everyone else here is. Correct? Right, okay. Before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to acknowledge you, because you are absolutely smashing the fact that you are here. You are doing it. Okay? You showed up today. You did the work. You started rewriting the script, your script. And that is something to be proud of. Awareness is the first step to transformation. And today you took that step. But here's the thing. This work doesn't stop here. I am specialized in this. However, I still have to catch it sometimes when I kind of spiral down. It's something that will stay there. It's not going to change. Well, it is going to change, but it's not going to go away. Okay? And that's okay. Because when we have the tools to actually catch it and rewrite it, we then have the power to change it. Okay? Rewriting your beliefs is a daily choice. It is, about continuously choosing the new belief over and over and over again until it becomes second nature. And I really would like to support you in keeping this momentum going. So, Annette, if you feel that you could really benefit from a one-to-one coaching, a one-to-one call with me in a Take Back Control mentorship call, which is free, I can help you further than this. We can chat. We can actually have that interaction. I can challenge you. Okay? I would love to do that. So please book a call. Please book a call. And it's not a sales call. It's my way of giving back. Please do, Annette. Yes, please do. Right. Again, if today's, let me just see if I need to, I do need to. Okay. If today's masterclass spoke to you and you're ready to go deeper, Here's how I can support you beyond this masterclass trainings. Free Take Back Control mentorship call. 45-minute call to explore what's keeping you stuck or what you need to move forward. This is exactly what we can talk about today, what we talked about today, and we can continue that in the conversation. There is the Peaceful Chaos Method group coaching program. If you're ready for a structured step-by-step transformation, this program will help you break free from self-doubt, people-pleasing, limiting beliefs, anything, okay? And one-to-one coaching packages. For those who want deep personalized coaching and one-to-one guidance, my coaching packages provide hands-on support for a complete transformation. I've got your back. I'm in your corner, fighting for you and with you, okay? So if you're ready to invest in yourself, invite you to take that next step because you are worth it. All right? Now, your transformation starts today. You have started it. And here's what I want you to walk away with today. You are not stuck. You are not broken. You have simply been conditioned to believe things that no longer serve you. But today you started breaking free, right? Your transformation starts with one choice, and it's to believe something new. And your power lies in the small intentional actions that you take every single day. I'll drop a word in the chat about how you're feeling right now, because I would like to know, do you feel empowered, lighter, hopeful? I'd love to hear it. Now, I am going to stop share my screen. Well, no, I'm not going to stop sharing my screen. Hold on. I am going to do this because I have okay, Brandy, are you still there? I think so. And I had I think Brenda, was it Brenda who was here? I think so. She has left. Brenda. Anyway, she was here, so I'm gonna enter her as well. Right, we've got 4 names in the draw. Are we ready? It's time to announce the winner of the free 50-minute one-to-one coaching session. And I am going to, can you see the screen? I think you can. Yes, you can. I'm going to roll it. And then Annette comes out. Yay! Right. Annette, congratulations. I am going to personally reach out to you to schedule your session. To everyone else, obviously, your journey does not end here. I'm going to stop sharing now because I'm going to blow up your screen. I apologize. You know, your journey does not end here. It doesn't. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. And thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey because I think that's amazing. I really love it. So I hope to see you and speak to you on the inside of the Shatter Chaos and Conditioning Facebook group. Hopefully you'll book a Take Back Control call. And Annette, obviously you can do both. You're more than welcome to. Or inside the Peaceful Chaos Method coaching program if you think that, and if you feel that you are ready for more support. Now, keep going, keep choosing you, and I will see you soon. If you want to stay on for a second, please do, because I would love to meet you in person. Would anyone like that? Because I'll end the recording now. Let me just end this one. Yes, and I'll end the recording more. There. Stop recording.